What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new podcast content called Unplayable. We are a bunch of guys who love a lot of games, and we're here to talk about those games. So maybe before we even get into what Unplayable is, let's do some introductions. Let's go around the horn. Jay, take it away, man. Who the heck are you?
So I'm Jay, probably the best Jay out there, including the other Jay that would have existed, but he's no longer Jay anymore. You guys probably know me. I'm most famous for Star Wars Destiny, being the best Star Wars Destiny content creator that was around.
There goes our 4 viewers already.
I've been playing board games and card games for probably, I don't know, like 15 years or something. Realistically longer than that, but I mean, when I was a kid collecting Pokemon cards, it wasn't really playing, it was just collecting cards. But so I've played a lot of TCGs. Right now, I'm also into like co-op games. So right now I'm into Arkham Horror, Marvel Champions, Flesh and Blood, soon to be released Lorcana, and then digital card games I've gotten into as well, Hearthstone, Runeterra, and Marvel Snap. So that's me.
Yeah. Jay's our resident hot take.
Easy.
Like, it's just lots of hot takes, so we apologize in advance for anything he says.
Hey, 50% of the time I'm wrong, and the other 50% of the time I'm probably wrong too. But you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So
I'm into that.
Classic. Mike, who are you?
Yeah, I'm Mike. I met most of these guys playing Star Wars Destiny, which is one of my favorite games of all time. I just love games, love card games especially. I'm currently working at a company that is making a card game. So, yeah, just super excited to talk about anything card game related or board game related or any other kind of game related.
Well, that do you? Jay kind of did his little like rundown of games he's kind of like playing and interested in right now. You want to do that too?
Sure. Yeah. I currently have a 5-month-old baby, so I've been playing mostly Marvel Snap because it fits into my lifestyle. Other than that, we're in alpha testing in the game that I'm working on, which is called Parallel. And so I've been playing a bunch of that during the week.
Love it. Love it. And you were the co-host of the greatest Star Wars Destiny podcast to ever.
That is absolutely
exist.
correct.
Yep.
Yep.
Jedi Trials.
I was a co-host for that for a short period of time too, but it was still number 2 to one other one.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't really. I don't think there were any other podcasts for that game.
No, we were pretty much it. Jimbo, who are you?
Hello. Jimbo, or Jim, formerly known as Jay Bray, but we can only have one J on here, so the J Trash Man can have that one for sure. So yeah, from good old Kentucky, and I feel like I'm like the social gamer of the crew. So anytime one of you all are like, "Hey, come try this game," I'm like, "Cool, let me run full steam ahead." So I'll let you all do all of the research and figuring out what you all like, and then I'll pile on and get way too invested into it. So pretty much all the games you all mentioned, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I play all of those games," and I was like, "Oh duh," because I've just followed their footsteps. That's why. So just finished my Pool 3 collection of Marvel Snap. That was the like big victory of the week. And yeah, from there, I do enjoy just like deck building and other like tradable card games to pretend to be competitive, but mostly just having fun.
Yeah. Classic. All right. Well, I'm D-House, and just running through my history of gaming. One, it started with Pokemon in middle school, and got super into that. Actually, it was owned by Wizards of the Coast at the time, and won a few big tournaments. So they were flying me to New York City and San Diego and Seattle, competing in Pokemon. I was 13, so that was my like definitely my gateway drug into the world of gaming. Because after that, I was hooked. I love the social side. I also love the competitive side. But life circumstances also have 2 young kids, not competing a ton anymore, but still love the social side and the fun side. And then every once in a while competing in something that, makes me feel like I can still, throw my weight around. But did that. Eventually played. I love Star Wars. Started playing our Star Wars LCG. That existed, which brought me into X-Wing. Played X-Wing for a long time. Actually started an X-Wing podcast. You're going to notice a theme here called Stay on Target. After doing that for a while, then Star Wars Destiny dropped and started that with old Mike. Well, I guess you didn't start it with me, but you got on quickly because I was abandoned by my co-host. Rip, Corey. He's not dead. He's just dead in my heart. And then, so played Star Wars Destiny. Great game. That's how, obviously how we all know each other. But then Keyforge came out, and we started a Keyforge podcast called The Wild Wormhole. And I'm still doing stuff with that, still very much into Keyforge. And I'm sure we'll talk about it on this, on Unplayable at some point. And besides that, oh gosh, I'm super excited about Lorcana. I think we're going to talk about that today. Disney Lorcana coming out. I've been watching X-Wing streams again just because I still enjoy that thing. I haven't bought anything. I'm just literally watching games for fun. I think that's the weird part of my gaming side is I actually enjoy watching YouTube videos of other people playing just as much as playing myself, which some people think I'm crazy, but I don't know. I love it.
You're clearly not crazy because Twitch is one of the biggest things online, and it's just watching people play video games. It's like the same concept.
True. But I guess that's maybe my unique thing is I'm not a video game person. I have Marvel Snap. I've played it, but I'm not super into it. I did 2 weeks on Hearthstone. For some reason, the digital game, Runeterra, did that for a month, and for some reason, that doesn't hook me as much, but I could watch two people sitting at a table playing a card game, I don't know what it is. But really like that. They actually just did this weekend is Adepticon, which is the minis kind of big conference in Chicago. So it's X-Wing World Championships, Legion, Armada, but they're also doing demos for the new, it's called Star Wars Shatterpoint. And it's basically skirmish minis for Star Wars, which looks really cool. So I was watching some tutorials there. I have no idea if I'll get into it, but it looks really cool.
Does the game looks fun?
Yeah, it's cool. And it's it's got just enough chaos and variance that I think, Mike, you'd like it. Even though I know you don't like minis games, but I know you like a little bit of chaos.
I do. I hate minis games.
Is it like the Marvel one?
Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Yeah. Is it like that, but Star Wars?
From first glance, yes. It does seem that way. But I would say other people have said it's different who are much more I've learned how to play Crisis Protocol and I've played a little bit, but I can't speak to it clearly enough to know. But it just seems you get Anakin Skywalker, a couple clones, and another support character, and then you team up with Ahsoka Tano and some Mandalorians, and you fight against Asajj Ventress. I know you love Asajj Ventress.
I do.
Right?
I know. I'm a big Ventress fan. Yeah.
So if anything's gonna she's in the core set.
It sounds fun. I mean,
yeah.
It's also Star Wars. For a while, I feel like I was a little kind of bored of Star Wars. But I sort of feel it coming on again. I'm feeling the itch.
Is it because the Mandalorian season 3 is out?
Yeah, I think that is what it is, and how good Andor was.
Oh man, Andor was great.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about Star Wars again.
Yeah, Jim hasn't seen any of this, by the way.
What?
I have to remind him to watch TV sometimes.
We just got through some Ted Lasso, so there,
amazing
you guys.
Yeah, that's like a top 3 show for me.
Is there a Ted Lasso card game? Can we play that?
If there was, I would play it. I guarantee you.
I'll just call it Believe. It'd be a great name.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we just invented a game. I think we need to pitch Apple.
Yeah, maybe that's what Unplayable becomes. Creating a Ted Lasso game.
Ted Lasso fan club over here.
Oh, that's so good.
What is Unplayable, David?
Yeah, what is Unplayable? Jay, tell us what is Unplayable.
No. Jim's the one that came up with our mission statement. What was
Oh
it?
yeah.
Yeah, I came up with a mission statement while asking, so what does unplayable even mean? So I'll give a mission statement without knowing the answer and let them fill in the pieces for you guys. So just as far as like who we are and just the folks we're trying to reach, we're not going to be the ones who are super in depth with strategy 24/7. We're kind of the guys who we like being competitive, but we're also here mostly just to have fun with friends. So yeah, just you really enjoy games, you enjoy delving deep, but maybe you're not so hooked on one game that you have to like commit to that the rest of your life. You can bounce around. It's okay. So you can get excited, go all in, see what happens, and then stick with it, move on to the next. It's all good.
Let me translate. We're stank, we're ugly, we're trash, and we can't sell jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's jerseys now. I thought it was shoes.
And we can't sell shoes either.
No.
We haven't even gotten a sponsorship for shoes. We gotta sell jerseys first.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody's noticed, we have all been on various podcasts for various specific games. So this is our excuse to podcast and talk about all of the cool games that we're into at whatever time that may be. So
yeah, I mean, we've basically all been on at least like 3 or 4 podcasts for specific games, and it just felt like it put us too much in a box. And if we wanted to talk about a different game, we would have to make a new podcast with new logos and new name and all this kind of stuff. This is just way more. This is better for us. It may not be better for the consumer, but it's better for us.
Exactly. It gives us an excuse to chat with each other every however often we record this and just talk crap about different games. And you guys all know that I bounce from game to game within 3 days, so it'll always be fresh.
Yep.
So good. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think we're not in this for any kind of monetary reason. We're not in this. In fact, I think we're already in the red because Mike spent money on something to record this. So
I've made sleeves and everything already.
Yes. So there's no I don't know. There's nothing about this outside of just some friends playing games, and hopefully you're entertained. And if not, if we get 4 views or 4 listens on this, and it's all us listening to ourselves, I think we'll be content. But in the future, I think we talked about even, some episodes of this might hit different like specific games and like highlight. So it might not be all 4 of us. It might be 2 or 3 of us or whatever. Just saying like, hey, let's talk about whatever. Jay over there can't stop talking about Flesh and Blood, so I'm sure he'll record a Flesh and Blood episode with Jim. And
I did just open a whole case of Flesh and Blood today or yesterday. So
you got anything good?
I got 3 legendaries in my case, which feels like a lot, but there's a whole issue going on with cases having too many cards in it and stuff. So I don't know. I guess I'll have to wait and find out.
There you go. So we'll probably have different episodes that come out specifically, and I don't know. We'll have to figure out a way to like label those episodes based on the game we're talking about that week, because there's lots to hit. But we wanted to talk about Lorcana today. But is there anything else before we get into that you guys want to hit?
No.
Let's jump into the most exciting game of 2023. Physical card game of 2023.
I'm probably the least knowledgeable.
Card game is definitely parallel.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm probably the least knowledgeable of Lorcana at the moment.
Yeah. So the publisher, the company's called, is it Ravensburger or Ravensburger? I've heard it said both ways. Does anybody know?
It's Ravensburger, but it doesn't matter.
Is that the Southern Jay's way of saying it, or what's the actual way of saying it?
They're Germans. I think Ravensburger is probably
Ravensburger.
I mean, they're international, I guess. So it probably depends on what your accent is. I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Who cares?
Okay.
Ravensburger. I don't know.
Ravensburger.
I hear a lot of people in the board game.
Just a basic.
They make a lot of board games, and I hear a lot of people in the board game industry call them Ravensburger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally 6 of 1. Potato, potato.
Yeah, this is just because we're 4 Americans who don't have any kind of cultural awareness, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyways, a very obviously experienced publisher. They've been publishing games for who knows how long. In fact, I was at my in-laws' house and I was looking in their closet and they had puzzles made by Ravensburger from like 40 years ago or something.
I think they're
like,
140 years old. I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy.
That's
Which
crazy.
is wild. Yeah.
So Disney went and I don't know who knocked on whose door, but I think Disney looked at, hey, how come, Wizards of the Coast and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh are getting all the money when we own the world? Let's own that piece of the world too. And so they decided to make a Disney IP trading card game, which seems like printing money at this point. But it is releasing this year at Gen Con first, and then it'll be at local retailers right after that, and then 2 weeks later in the big box stores. They already have plans to release in the Targets, the Walmarts, all the which
That's
that
huge.
alone is a massive thing. So so coming out this fall, how are we feeling about the game?
I'm very excited, I will say. I'm not like the biggest Disney head, I guess. Like I like Disney stuff. I grew up in the 90s, so I feel like everybody who did is, relatively fond of the sort of animated movies that they grew up with. But from what I've seen of the gameplay, it looks really interesting. From what I've seen, or I guess we've been able to glean from the gameplay, it looks interesting. They haven't actually released the rules yet, which are hopefully coming soon, and then we can talk about that in more detail. But the amount of support that it looks like they're putting behind it is really promising. And the fact that I hope, I guess like my biggest hope is that it will expand sort of the card game audience as a whole, and that they're going to go after completely new card game players rather than just trying to like siphon players from Magic or from Yu-Gi-Oh or from Pokemon or whatever. That's definitely my biggest hope for the game. But the art looks amazing. So that's,
And the graphic design for the cards all looks really good and like clean. It's not garbage. I think.
Should I share my screen?
Sure.
I don't know if that pops up on this.
I guess we will find out. But I'm pretty stoked for it. I think it's going to be really well designed. So like Ravensburger has a lot of games, and they already have a deal with Target and like Walmart, and they have games in both of those stores, like this Disney Villainous and Star Wars Villainous and tons of other games. And I've played a lot of those Villainous games, and they're fun, they're well balanced, they're well designed, clearly thought out, and I think it's the same like development group that is working on Lorcana, so that's promising.
I just thought about this. Imagine they release a Villainous expansion and
it's
they
Star
put
Wars?
a couple and they put a couple Lorcana promos in the Villainous box.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Because Villainous has sold something like 4 million copies or something.
Oh, it's insane.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's only a couple years old, and it has like 5 expansions just for the Disney one.
Yeah, just for
that's
the
not
cool
including. Yeah, it's not including. They have a Marvel one and a Star Wars one, and the Marvel one has an expansion too. So yeah.
I've never played that game, but I've heard good things.
It's fun. It's fun. I have the Star Wars one and I haven't opened it, but I've played the Disney one. It's very entertaining.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Jim, where are you at in this Lorcana?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited about it. I love the Disney whole theme attached to it. But as far as like knowing what the game does, I've definitely been like waiting till the rules come out before I try to like deep dive into all of this. So pretty much any rumors that I'm hearing is just from you, D House. I'm getting excited and sharing with us kind of your thoughts or what you found. So I think the only thing that I'm like worried about is if I get like overloaded with trying to keep up with the collection, and if it's like still fun and like I can stay relevant with it if there is a ton of product. But until we know what that actually looks like, that just seems like an empty concern that doesn't necessarily like translate to anything. So it could be very easy to get a competitive deck that would be fun to keep up with and bring to tournaments and stuff. But that's the only thing that I was like even a little bit worried about from there. I mean, it's Disney, so I'm excited. I was a Kingdom Hearts. That was like the only video game I could ever play was Kingdom Hearts growing up.
Oh, nice.
So if it's Disney related, I'm in.
I think they can technically bring Kingdom Hearts to Lorcana because I think technically Kingdom Hearts is Disney IP, not Square Enix IP, which would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
So basically, as far as you mentioned the rules, so they have been saying that they are releasing the rules in spring of this year. So spring officially just started last week, I guess. And when spring started, they released this Tigger card, which is tongue in cheek. Tigger springs into action.
I did not get that until literally just now.
Yep.
Nice.
So well done, whoever did that. But so, anyways, I think most everybody is kind of sitting on the edge of their seats. There's a lot of theories out there. There's honestly a lot of content creators already for Disney Lorcana, and so we had even talked to originally hey, should we dip our toes into this content game? And that's when Unplayable was like, well, let's keep it generic enough that we can swerve to different games still. But you'll probably see a lot of Lorcana discussion here as we figure out the games and inevitably end up on TTS playing games before Gen Con. But
Yep.
I'm really excited about it. I think everything is sort of pointing to, you can kind of see on these cards on the screen, you see on the Mickey Mouse cards, there's these 4 diamonds on the bottom right that seem to have a significant role in the game that we don't know for sure, but everything kind of points to the game being more of a race than a fight. Obviously, with games like Magic the Gathering, even Pokemon, I mean, it's literally like fight, and you are rewarded for fighting. Whereas Lorcana, it seems like it's following in the footsteps of Keyforge, where you're racing towards something, which seems a little bit more appropriate for a Disney game than blood and death and gore and flesh and blood, So I love racing games. I think that's a really interesting way to play, and it's really easy to introduce to new players too, because I think that is a big deal of how to. Some people are just turned off by the idea of I'm just supposed to can you imagine sitting down and be okay, your Mickey Mouse is gonna fight my Scar, and whoever fights hard enough, it just doesn't feel like Disney at all. So I'll scroll through some more cards too, just for people who are just seeing it. But is there anything about the game that feels appealing to you guys specifically?
I like the idea that it's it's not just another sort of, you have X number of life points, your opponent has X number of life points, just hit each other until one of you is left surviving. I think expanding the game design space of the big games that exist is good for the genre as a whole. I think it's very cool. I think it's an IP, again, like I said before, that can draw a lot of people in that are not currently card gamers. There's a small chance that I'll be able to convince my wife to play a Disney Princess deck or something like that. D-House, I know you have kids that are hopefully around the age where this might appeal to them. So I think this could sort of raise a whole new generation of card gamers, which is pretty fun.
I'm wondering, so a little off tangent, but I'm wondering if you choose hero or villain to play as, if you can't include both in your deck or something.
Yeah, that
I don't know.
Yeah, because they do have tags, right? They do have traits. So they have hero, villain, ally.
But don't they?
Seen a lot.
There's already there is a starter set.
Oh, is there?
Oh, and they mix them.
Yeah, they mix them, because I remember seeing. I'm wondering who would have this
yeah.
This might be it. Here we go.
Yeah.
So this one has Cruella de Vil and Aladdin in it.
But that's oh wait, yeah, I don't know. Is that a 2-player box?
No, it's a starter deck. That's a starter deck.
Yeah, it's a 60 card playable starter deck.
Here we go. Here are the starter decks.
Oh, there you go.
So the rest are all hero types, but this one specifically seems to be.
Yeah.
Point
Yeah.
otherwise. I also wonder if so like I don't know what the theme is supposed to be. Are we like writers or like artists or something? Like creating these characters or what? Like creating a story or something? I don't know.
Yeah, from what I understand, we are Illumineers, and we are collecting lore. I'm terrible at this kind of stuff, but we're like collecting lore away from some threat that they haven't gotten into, but they've been teasing like the storyline and like the narrative of this, and that there's going to be some narrative elements tied into the game as it gets released.
That's cool.
Okay.
And so all of the Disney like characters have been like transported to this like to Lorcana, and they're basically trying to gather as much as they can before the threat can stop it. From what I understand, I could be completely wrong, but that's why you can have like Elsa and Mickey together.
Yeah,
That sounds like Kingdom Hearts. It might just be Kingdom Hearts, the card game.
it was Kingdom Hearts the whole time.
There you go.
Everything looks high quality. Like I love
Agreed.
the way everything looks.
Like these are going to look really sick on a shelf. A lot of people are going to buy these in Walmart and Target and stuff like that.
Yep. The probably one unfortunate thing is they did release like the MSRP for the game, and we're talking $6.
Yeah, it's a little high.
Mhm.
That's the Disney tax for sure.
Yes.
So you can either eat or play this game.
We all know that right now.
Yeah. Somehow we'll do both. But yeah, so I mean, this releasing at Gen Con, I know Mike and I are going to Gen Con. I don't know about these two other fools on this episode, but
It's leaning towards a yes at the moment.
Oh,
so.
let's go, dude.
that's sweet.
That's exciting.
And
Hover
we're gonna
between-
immediately go through the doors and run straight to Ravensburgers.
Absolutely.
I mean, are we waking up at 4 a.m. to like get in line? Because I feel like
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
that's what we're doing to get.
Getting all the promos, getting like 6 cases. Gonna draft.
Yep.
We're gonna play that day.
Yes, we are.
If they don't release booster draft rules from day one,
Oh yeah, that would be a huge
miss.
a huge mistake. Yeah, they have to. They absolutely.
Although with $6 booster packs though,
Yeah, it could be a little pricey.
draft.
That
I'm
means
like,
that, like,
oh.
yeah, retail stores are probably going to charge something like $20 to $25 to draft, but
Yep.
they got to keep up with inflation. So
Yeah. Shoot. But yeah, we'll definitely be hitting up that Lorcana. Hopefully they print enough. There's already talk of allocation, and they've already increased production based on like the interest. So
yeah, which is super smart. If they hadn't done that and hadn't like circulated the fact that they've done that, I would definitely be worried because all things point to this being an absolutely massive launch, and the absolute worst thing would be a squeeze in product availability.
Yeah. 100%.
And we know we've been burned by that too much by FFG.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anybody who's played FFG,
I thought FFG was. I thought we
that.
agreed no profanity on this cast. FFG is a bad word.
If you pronounce it the way Chris pronounces it, yes.
Oh gosh. I forgot to even mention I do play Marvel Champions, which is an FFG game, but
I played that.
it's a co-op game. Yeah.
It feels a bit too much like a math problem to me. Like I like the theme of the game. I like some of the mechanics of the game, but I never feel all that satisfied when I like win. Compared to something like Arkham Horror, which I have a bunch of and I love. That game just feels so much more satisfying to play through. To me anyway.
It's much more of an experience game than Champions for sure.
Yeah.
I probably like Arkham Horror better, but Marvel Champions is easier to play solo at a fast pace.
True. Yeah. If you want to play Arkham Horror, it's probably like at least a 2-hour commitment. So
Yeah, and you want to play with other people because it's an experience game.
Way more fun with other people. Yeah, I would never play that game solo. I know a lot of people who do play that game solo, but that's just not what I play those kinds of games for. But I also haven't played Marvel Champions since whatever the first big box was. I don't know if it's gotten better since then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they just came out with X-Men. Sounds like they might be coming out with like X-Force next. They were teasing that this week. But yeah, I don't know. I'll go through. Yes, we're like they announced their announcement.
Twice. They've announced it twice.
We love when companies announce an announcement. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. I've been playing in not recently, but there's like a solo Champions League on Discord where they come up with these like really unique scenarios and like challenges and customization to these like scenarios, and then you have to pick one of 5 heroes, or one of 4 aspects, each round, and then you actually you turn in your results, and obviously it's all like, on a truth scale, honest, just be honest and turn in what actually happened, and then and then you get ranked based on how you did, and then there's conversation. There's no real prize, so if you're gonna lie about it, your life is very interesting. But it was the most fun I had playing Marvel Champions when I could be like, we're all trying to figure out how to beat this thing, and we're all turning in results like, oh, let's see that deck. What'd you build and how'd you do this? Like, oh, that's a cool strategy and all that. But I think in general as a gamer, I like kind of like Jim. I like to sit across from someone and interact in person and just have some good laughs, eat some good food. It's that maybe that's why I don't get into like video games either, because it's like I don't see anybody. I'm just so that's what appeals to me about all these games like Lorcana. It's like, oh, I could sit across, or like you said, potentially get my wife or my son to learn and play this game with them too. It sounds really fun.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Any other thoughts on Lorcana or another game, or what Unplayable means to you?
Mike, what does Unplayable mean to you?
Oh man, I like the name because I think it's like kind of a tongue-in-cheek sort of I don't know, way to say that, like, something's unplayable in the game. It's like really bad. The podcast, maybe it's really bad.
It's
hopefully
literally
not,
unplayable.
It's like it hopefully speaks to the lightness of sort of the energy that we bring to
For sure.
the hobby.
I came up with an idea while we were recording. If we ever
hot take, here we go.
It's not a hot take. If we ever do a set review, our scale will be playable or unplayable whenever you like evaluate a card.
Amazing.
That's good. I like it.
We should apply that to entire games too.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, that's good. All right. Well, this has been a good little intro episode 0 or 1. I know we've argued about whether episode 0 or 1 is the thing in the past, so we'll probably have to argue again about it. But so I have no idea how often we're going to do this, and it might not always be all 4 of us, but hopefully we'll get some good conversation going on
this
YouTube.
Might be
and
the only episode we record.
That's entirely
So
possible.
if you enjoyed it, let us know, but we'll never record again.
We couldn't go back.
That's so good. All right. Mike, give us a cool sign off.
Oh God, me? No.
And stop recording.